원서 있는 고양이 제니예요. 오늘은 해리포터 2권 챕터 14 어제 있던 거 이어서 읽어보도록 할 건데요. 그럼 시작해볼까요? 냐옹! Are you okay, Hagrid? said Harry. Did you hear about Hermione's? Oh, I heard it right, said Hagrid, slight break in his voice. He kept glancing nervously at the windows. He poured them both large mouths of boiling water. He had forgotten to wear tea bags and was just putting a slab of fruitcake on the plate when there was a loud knock on the door. Hagrid dropped the fruitcake. Harry and Ron exchanged panic-stricken looks and threw the invisibility cloak back over themselves and retreated into a corner. Harry checked the doorway hidden, seized his crossbow, and flung open his door once more. Good evening, Hagrid. It was Dumbledore. He entered, looking deadly serious, and was followed by a second, very odd-looking man. The stranger was a short, portly man with rumpled grey hair and an anxious expression. He was wearing a strange mixture of clothes, a pinstripe suit, a scarlet tie, on a long black cloak, and pointed purple boots. Under his arms he carried a lime green bowler. That's Boss, said Ron breathed. Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic. Harry elbowed Ron hard to make him shut up. Hagrid had gone pale and sweaty. He jumped into one of his chairs and looked from Dumbledore to Cornelius Fudge. Bad business, Hagrid, said Fudge in rather clipped tones. Very bad business. Had to come for attacks on Muggle-borns. Things have gone far enough. Ministers get to act. I never, said Hagrid, looking imploringly at Dumbledore. You know I never pursued Dumbledore, sir. I want it understood, Cornelius, that Hagrid has my full confidence, said Dumbledore, frowning at Fudge. Look, Albus, said Fudge uncomfortably. Hagrid's record against it. Ministers got to do something. The school governors have been in touch. Yet again, Cornelius, I tell you that taking Hagrid away will not help in the slightest, said Dumbledore. His blue eyes were full of a fire where Harry had never seen before. Look at it from my point of view, said Fudge, fidgeting with his bowler. I'm under a lot of pressure. Got to be seen to be doing something. If it turns out it wasn't Hagrid, he'll be back and no more said. But I've got to take him. I've got to. Wouldn't be doing my duty. Take me? said Hagrid, who is trembling. Take me where? For a short stretch only, said Fudge, not meeting Hagrid's eyes. Not a punishment, Hagrid, more a precaution. If someone else is caught, you'll be let out with a full of apology. Not Azkaban, croaked Hagrid. Before Fudge could answer, there was another loud rap on the door. Dumbledore answered. It was Harry's turn for an elbow in the ribs. He had let out a horrible gasp. Mr. Lucius Malfoy strode into Hagrid's hut, swathed in a long black traveling cloak, smiling a cold and satisfied smile. Fangs started to grow. Already here, Fudge, said approvingly. Good, good. What are you doing here? Said Hagrid furiously. Get out of my house! My dear man, Please believe me, I have no pleasure at all at being inside your, do you call this a house? Said Lucius Malfoy, sneering as he looked around the small cabin. I simply called the school and was told that the headmaster was here. And what exactly do you want to win me, Lucius? Said Dumbledore. He spoke politely, but the fire was still blazing in his blue eyes. Dreadful thing, Dumbledore, said Mr. Malfoy lazily, taking out a long roll of parchment. But the governors feel it's time for you to step aside. This is order of suspension. You'll find all 12 signatures on it. I'm afraid we feel you're losing your touch. How many attacks have there been now? 2 more this afternoon, wasn't it? At this rate, there'll be no Muggle-born left at Hogwarts, and we all know what an awful loss that would be to school. Oh, and now see here, Lucius, said Fudge, looking alarmed. Dumbledore suspended? Oh, no, last thing with just now. The appointment of all suspension of the headmaster is a matter for the governors, Fudge, said Mr. Malfoy smoothly. And as Dumbledore has failed to stop these attacks... Now look, Lucius, if Dumbledore can stop them, said Fudge, whose upper lip was sweating now. I meant to say, who can? That remains to be seen, said Mr. Malfoy with a nasty smile. But as all 12 of us had voted, Hagrid leapt to his feet, his shaggy black hat grazing the ceiling. And how many did you have to threaten and blackmail before they agreed, Malfoy, eh? He roared. There. You know that temper of yours will lead you into trouble one of these days, Hagrid, said Mr. Malfoy. I would advise you what to shut up and ask the band guards like that. They won't like it at all. You can't take Dumbledore, yelled Hagrid, making Fang a Borhor cower and whimper in his lasted. Take him away and the Muggleborns won't stand a chance. They'll be killings next. Can you stop, Hagrid, said Dumbledore sharply. He looked at Lucius Malfoy. If the governors want my removal, Lucius, I shall of course step aside. But, stuttered Fudge. No, growled Hagrid. Dumbledore had not picking bright blue eyes what Lucius Malfoy called grey ones. However, said Dumbledore, speaking very slowly and clearly, so that none of them could miss a word, you will find that I will truly have left this school when none here are loyal to me. You will also find that help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it. For a second, Harry was almost sure that Dumbledore's eyes flickered towards the corner where he and Ron stood hidden. Admirable sentiments, said Malfoy, bowing. We shall all miss your highly individual way of running things, Albus, and only hope that you, sir, you'll manage to prevent any killings. He strode to the cabin door, opened it, and bowed Dumbledore out. Fudge, fiddling with his elbow, learned for Hagrid to go and out of it, but Hagrid stood his ground, took a deep breath, and said carefully, If anyone wanted to find out some stuff, all they had to do would be just follow the spiders. that I let him right. That's all I'm saying. Fudge stared at him in amazement. All right, I'm coming, said Hagrid, pulling on his moleskin overcoat. But as he was about to follow Fudge through the door, he stopped again and said loudly, "And someone only to feed Fang while on my way." The door banged shut, and Ronan pulled an invisibility cloak off. "We're in trouble now," he said hoarsely. "No, Dumbledore! They might as well close us to tonight. There'll be an attack a day with him gone." Fang started howling, scratching at the closed door. 재미있게 들으셨다면 구독과 좋아요 꾹꾹 눌러주시고 다음 영상에서 만나요. 안녕!